All right, we're ready to get things started here this afternoon. Earlier today, ThorSport announced that they'll be moving back to Ford Performance for the 2023 season. And Hailie Deegan will be part of that Ford truck team with Ty Majeski and Matt Crafton, and Ben Rhodes. I knew I'd have too many names to try to remember there to get them all in there first shot. But thanks to them for joining us today. We've got Allison Thorson here, along with Hailie Deegan. Mark Rushbrook, Global Director for Ford, is joining us. And we'll have this group here for the next 20, 30 minutes to answer your questions. But first, I'd like to start off with Allison first. Thanks for joining us. Just what's your thoughts as far as ThorSport coming back to Ford and having Hailie on board?
Well, thank you guys for all being here today. Can you hear me?
Yep, hear you just fine.
Thank you guys for all being here today. Obviously, ThorSport announced earlier today that we are returning to the 2023 season with Ford and Ford Performance. We are super excited. We've had success with them in the past, and we look forward to continuing this relationship in the upcoming season and beyond. We also have some returning drivers as well as a new exciting driver with our team. So we'll have Matt Crafton with his crew chief Shane Wilson returning, Ben Rhodes with Jared Prince as his crew chief, and we will also have Ty Majeski with Joe Shear Jr. And then, of course, we have Hailie Deegan now, and Rich Lucius will be her crew chief. So super excited to share some news with everyone in the community today. And that's kind of from our part.
Yeah, and Hailie, what's it like for you? We saw your video to kind of kick this day off. So just your thoughts on joining ThorSport.
Yeah, I really didn't know what to expect until I got here, and it's really been more than I could have dreamed of. Everything that I wanted, it's been just more than that, exceeding my expectations. Just to meet everyone here, there's so many great people, just like an abundance of quality people working at this place, and just so many people that care about your racing and care about your career and your success. It's not just kind of out, it's not at all, you can tell, out for themselves. They truly care about their driver, and I think I just feel that already after being here for 24 hours, and I feel so comfortable and just like so accepted. And I think that's a great feeling to have as a new driver going anywhere. And I think that there's been so much success in the past with Ford and ThorSport's relationship that bringing them back together, I feel like it's a good move. There's a lot of similar qualities as organizations and companies themselves that I feel like are so on the same level, like they give off the same vibes and you kind of get the same feeling from it. So I think that Ford and ThorSport being together it's like a little match made in heaven.
All right, and Mark, obviously a reunion of sorts here. Just your thoughts on ThorSport coming back to Ford and having Hailie as part of that team.
Yeah, we're really excited about rejoining with ThorSport. Racing is part of who we are as a company, and to represent us on the track, we want to have the best partners, the best teams, the best people. And ThorSport has definitely demonstrated that while they were with us and what they've done in recent years with the success that they've had. So we're excited to be rejoining forces, a lot of familiar faces there. And I was really happy to have that conversation with Duke to go in this direction, and looking forward to what we can do together in 2023. And I think it's a great opportunity with Hailie and seeing her progress these last 3 years that we've been with her, and to watch what she's going to be able to do with the equipment and the people there. Really excited to have that in 2023.
All right, we've got questions lined up here from members of the media. So let's kick things off here with Jim Utter. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, a couple questions for Hailie. Hailie, how would you summarize your first couple seasons in the truck series so far? And considering the announcement, how does this help? In what ways do you think this move will help you kind of move on to the next level?
Yeah, I think the last 2 seasons in trucks, I've been trying to figure it out and kind of learning the ropes of the truck series. And I feel like I got a good grasp on it now and understand kind of what you need to be successful as a driver, what the team needs to do from their part, and the people you need to have around you. There's just a lot of pieces to the puzzle. And I think maybe the last 2 years, it was trying to find those pieces and trying to figure it out. And I feel like coming here to ThorSport, they obviously always had their pieces to the puzzle figured out, and they have a lot of success in racing and in the truck series and have for a long time. So I think that coming here, it's kind of making up those pieces to the puzzle that we might have been lacking in the past. And I think we're going to have a lot more success together.
And obviously, you're doing another full-time year in trucks. You did make an Xfinity start this past season. Will you still be looking for other opportunities to do something like that, as well as your truck schedule in 2023?
Yeah, I'm for sure looking for opportunities to go do a few Xfinity races. Obviously, nothing full-time is going to come up, but I think that being able to go and do a few Xfinity races would definitely be awesome. It just depends on funding and sponsors and kind of what's going on and what comes to the table throughout the year that could decide those Xfinity races.
Thank you very much.
Jim, thank you. Let's go to Mike Hembry from NBC Sports. Hey, Mike. Mike, you are muted. You're still muted, my friend. There we go. There you go.
Sorry. Hailie, these first couple of full-time seasons, what sort of tracks have you felt most comfortable at? Tracks where you felt like you had the best shot at succeeding?
So I really felt like a lot of the tracks where I felt the strongest were mile and a halves. I feel like the first year in the truck series, we had some of our best runs on the mile and a halves, whether we got wrecked or something happened throughout the race that took us out of contention for a good top 10 finish. I feel like we were having the strongest runs throughout the year in the on mile and a half. So I think that that's something that I kind of want to go back to, is running good on those. And for some reason, we got away from that kind of last year. We kind of struggled on the mile and a half. And I don't know if it's because we changed some stuff from year to year or what, or mechanical stuff. So I think that coming here is just kind of going back to like, okay, what can we do to run good on mile and a half? Obviously they do that already, but I think that there's just going to be a lot of good things. Like, okay, I'm like, hey, we struggled at this track in years past. Like, how do you guys feel you run there? I'm like, okay, feeling really good about it. And there's a lot of promising things that have come up.
Do you feel like you've had the space to learn and improve? There's a lot of sort of pressure on you. They're the most popular driver. Ford expects a lot out of you. Have you kind of had the room to learn with all that going on?
I mean, I've been used to pressure my whole life. It's kind of been on me from the start. So at the end of the day, there's pressure for a reason. And I feel like if you can't deal with the pressure of it, then you probably shouldn't have that pressure on you. So I think that going out there and doing the best I possibly can, working as hard as I possibly can for it, and just knowing that myself, knowing that I'm putting in the full effort and doing everything that I'm capable of, and everyone else sees that we're bound to have more success.
Thank you.
All right, Mike, thank you. Let's go to Bob. Hey, Bob.
Hey, thanks everyone for joining. Hailie, obviously David Gilliland Racing was, they were still kind of growing. ThorSport is an established team. It's won championships in this series. Like, do you feel that this year will tell you whether, you've got it and whether you can do this at an elite level as far as leading laps and winning races?
Yeah, I think that this year is going to be a real good show of that. I mean, I believe in myself. I think that I have it. And I think that we were just probably missing a few pieces to the puzzle, because there's so many pieces to the puzzle. And you get to a point where in your development, you have to take that next step. And I think that ThorSport is a very established team and has a very established path of success. And still, just throughout the years, they've been so successful consistently, even with all the changes in development in the truck series and with the trucks themselves. So I think that they've been such a good, consistent team that this will be a good year for me.
And do there's obviously some talk that maybe going to Xfinity would actually be a better for your kind of learning and growth. How do you view a third year in trucks in relation to that?
I think whether the option came up to do Xfinity or trucks for this being my third year, I would say wherever I ended up, I just wanted to be in a quality place. I just wanted to be somewhere where I truly felt I was around the most quality of equipment, people, and quality of people who care about my racing. And I think that that's a huge thing that I'm already feeling here at ThorSport, is just accepted. It feels like a family environment. You kind of get that small team family vibe, but on a big scale of a super successful team. And I'd say that's the same thing you feel with Ford. They're a massive company, but you feel it with so many different departments, but you do feel like you have that small company family, very close knit in between that.
And for Allison, there's a lot of speculation on why make this change after just a couple years with Toyota. Some people thinking, well, maybe y'all were mad that Toyota seemed to put more backing behind David Gillen and his switch. Maybe just more money from Ford. I'm curious if you can kind of elaborate on the reasons for the change. Thank you.
Yeah, for ThorSport, obviously, we've been in the series since '96. We've had a lot of success in general in the truck series. And that also goes with a lot of other businesses that we have and sister companies with ThorSport. And Ford, Ford F-150 is one of the top selling or the top selling truck on the road nowadays. So it really relates for us, especially when we're trying to grow other facets of business too, like our T-Sport off-road or actually, upfitting trucks business. So Ford kind of matched that on top of Ford Performance aligned with a lot of things of growth that we wanted to do and keep continuing to try to win championships, get poles, win stages and races, and also to be a part of the Ford development program with Hailie. That was a really attractive opportunity. And we really feel like not only we want to continue our success with returning drivers, but we really think we can offer Hailie something that she hasn't been able to accomplish just yet. And that's the same goals that we have with our other drivers. So all in all, Ford Performance with Hailie being a new member of the family, we would like to say, and returning drivers, we just are looking forward to keep evolving, keep growing, and keep setting new heights.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Bob. Let's go to Zach Sterniolo from NASCAR. Hey, Zach.
Hey guys, thanks for making the time for this. Hailie, first and foremost, congratulations on this opportunity. A lot of experience around you with Rich Lucis coming on top of the pit box, really veteran teammates like Matt Crafton and Ben Rhodes. So with that experience around you, how does that, if at all, change your approach and the resources that you have around you now? How can those people help make you better?
I think it's huge. I think that that's definitely a big piece of the puzzle that's getting added to the factor of my career and my racing. The quality of teammates and experience these teammates have here are just incredible. Just talking and having those conversations and seeing how open and willing they are to help you and making sure you're as comfortable as possible is awesome. And I think that's something that's invaluable. Like, you have to have teammates that are willing to work with you, that are willing to go out of their way to make sure you're in a good spot, and being able to work with you on track and kind of going into races with a game plan and having those conversations beforehand. Or if your one teammate's running better than the other, being able to have that comfortable conversation of asking, hey, what are you feeling here? Hey, what changes did you guys make? Or what did you like? What did you not like? And those are the conversations that you have to have at these races and in between practice and qualifying, and just being able to break down the races after having those quality conversations. I think that that's something that really plays a huge factor into the development of a driver.
And then I also have a question for Mark. Ford's clearly invested in Hailie and her career. And so what have you seen from her? How do you foresee her trajectory in the future and seeing her progress through the national series?
Yeah, we love watching the development drivers progress, advance both on the track and off the track, and watching that maturity of Hailie in terms of how she evaluates a car or truck on the racetrack, can break it down and articulate it back to her crew chief and team to set the direction that the car needs to go. That skill, I think, has advanced significantly, both on the track and while she's working in the simulator with the team as well. So that's awesome to see, and a really important part of what a race driver needs to develop. And then it's the racecraft on the track, which we're seeing that develop as well. And I think this is the next opportunity with the team that's going to be around her, the people that are going to be around her, to give her that opportunity to go one more level.
Thank you.
Thanks, Zach. And Mark, following up on that, Lee Spencer, she's on an airplane right now. She's listening to us, the miracles of modern technology. But she wanted me to ask you about kind of what Zach just did about Hailie's consistency as far as development at a consistent rate, but also, is there an opportunity to get her more seat time in Xfinity? Just your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think, as Hailie answered the question, right, it's having the right equipment, the right people around her. And she's got that at ThorSport, and it's going to be a great season. As there are opportunities to get more Xfinity experience. That's absolutely the right thing to do. Hailie did a great job when she ran the Xfinity race in Vegas, and to look for opportunities together with Ford, with Hailie and her team and our existing partners to find those opportunities in 2023. Definitely want to take advantage of that. And we'll continue other things with our IMSA Mustang GT4 program. There'll be more opportunities to get Hailie as much seat time and experience as possible in different environments. It always makes our drivers better.
All right, great. Let's go to Nathan Solomon. Hey, Nathan.
Hey, Dan, thank you. First, Hailie, for you, obviously you're down in North Carolina, the shop's up in Ohio. Just what's the dynamic going to be like for you kind of going back and forth and balancing, those two locations?
Yeah, so I don't know if a lot of people know this, but there's quite a few drivers that have been in and out of ThorSport that have been based in North Carolina. Crafton's actually in North Carolina too. So I actually was on the plane with him on the way here. We didn't even know, and I saw him to walk by him as I was walking through the plane. So it's definitely something that's not, I feel like, gonna hurt or hinder the relationship or any of the development with the team, or our performance. So I think that this is something that I feel definitely comfortable around everyone to fly up whenever I feel and come to the shop and be around the guys and be able to hang out and build those relationships. And we're going to be on the road, obviously, a lot throughout the year, but I'm definitely going to be making a lot of trips up here to Ohio, which I don't have a problem doing at all. I'm used to traveling, lots of sponsor requirements, lots of going to races. So that's been my life for the last 10 years. So I'm definitely comfortable with hopping on a plane and making the effort to come up here to build those relationships.
And then Mark, a couple things for you. Obviously, DGR leaves Ford and rebrands, kind of leaving that hole there in the truck series. How important was it just to have this reunion and kind of fill that void there?
Yeah, the truck series is important to us, to have a presence there and to be competitive and able to win races and championships. So this is a great opportunity for us to have more trucks in the races, more quality trucks, more quality people. So this is the right move for us. We're really happy with it.
And then, looking at the Xfinity side, you have Brett Moffitt coming in with the Ford support. You have, Stuart Haas going up to 2 cars there. So how important has it been for you guys to kind of expand that presence more in that series as well?
Yeah, as you see, we have a relatively small footprint in Xfinity, but it's the quality of the footprint that ultimately matters. So it's good to have Brett coming in. And it's good to have Cole Custer back in the Stuart Haas Xfinity car. And it's going to be great to see those cars, those drivers with opportunities to win every week.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to John Newby. Hey, John.
Hello, thank you. This question's for Allison. So, obviously, Hailie brings a lot to the table in terms of driving ability and how she engages with the fans. But was there a specific moment where you saw that you're like, oh, wow, we really need to bring her to the team?
Kind of alluding back to, welcoming and working back with Ford Performance. That was kind of one of the main points of, we're also reviewing our driver lineup at the time when, like many other teams right now, what are we doing for the next season and stuff. And Hailie was ready. And that was obviously a top topic to talk about. Where's Hailie going to go? And immediately, I know from our management perspective, we definitely had open arms and thought it was a lot of potential. She has a lot of following, a lot of backing. Obviously, being a female driver, she brings a lot to the table. But ThorSport, we kind of welcomed her into the family, but we also think we know she has a lot of potential and can fulfill it. And we really feel like we have those key parts and, like she said, pieces to the puzzle to make her meet her goals and exceed her goals and make new goals. And same with Ford Performance. Ford Performance has a good development program, and that's kind of, I would say, what Hailie represents. She is a face of that, and we are happy to help and assist and make that possible for her front, for Ford, and then also we just get to be a part of it. We're excited about it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, John. Let's go to Deb Williams. Hey, Deb.
Hi, how are you all doing? I appreciate your time today. And Hailie, you're coming into a team where you've got Matt Crafton with years of experience. You've also got Ty Majeski, who works in the shop as an engineer and then drives. what do you feel like these people can help you in your career that you have been missing?
I think that just the level and the caliber of teammates that I will have with the experience that they have throughout the past years and success they've had, I really couldn't ask for better teammates on this team. There's just so much experience that I'm lacking that they have had over the years, and things that I don't even have questions yet, but will in the future that they'll be able to answer. So I think there's just going to be so many quality conversations and so many quality moments at the track that they're really going to help out and be that kind of person who has my back. And I can see already that the whole aspect over here and vibe of it is being close-knit, being like a family type scenario. And I think that having a team like that who has those relationships is what makes drivers feel comfortable and excel in their career.
Okay, and one for Mark also. Mark, when you were looking and to go back to ThorSport, what do you feel that ThorSport can give your development drivers that perhaps some of the other teams were missing, and why you went with them? You felt that would be your best place for your development drivers.
Yeah, it's as we've hit on, I think the experience, they've been in the truck series since 1996. They've got a great range of drivers and experience that can work with a development driver like Hailie. So to watch Hailie develop alongside Ty and Ben with the experience of Matt Kraft and a champion, that's the best environment, right? So that we have that balance, that spectrum, and then all the people in the shop, the experience that they have, and Duke and Allison and the ThorSport team, they are focused on being a truck team and the best truck team and a championship caliber team. And that's what we're looking for, and really happy to be partnered with them again.
Okay, thank you. And then I have one for Allison. You were talking about Ford F-150s and fitting into your other businesses. How does this also fit in with your horse business?
That's a good one. We like horses and horsepower. Obviously,
That's right.
Obviously, I'm a daughter of, I've been around the race team for a long time, but obviously horseback riding and competing with horses is kind of one of my passions, opposite from Hailie. She'll take the other end. Just like race season for my family personally, or with the horse shows, we're on the road at least 30 weeks out of the year, and often pulling trailers, and that usually comes with F-350s or F-450s. So in furthering our business, our T-Sport upfitting package that we're selling, we're just really excited to partner with Ford and help make that more out there, more possible, that we can bring to the racing world. And we can also bring to, for example, my horse world, because like racing, people like to feel relatable or feel like they're a part of it. And when you can kind of bring that to people on the streets and they can drive one themselves, I think it helps Ford, it helps our business, and it's super exciting.
Thank you all very much. Happy holidays and good luck in 2023.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deb. Let's move to Ashley McCubbin. Hey, Ashley.
Hey everybody, thanks again for everything. Hailie, we've seen your progress as a driver in each season that you've ran the series, but what do you feel that you need to improve upon moving forward to be even better?
I think that just having a good, solid core group of people around me. I think it's just, there's so many things going on in the racing world at all times that you have to have people who have your back 24/7, that believe that you can practically do anything. And I think that that's the type feeling you get when you go into a shop, and to be with a team like ThorSport. You hear so many great things about them all around the garage. I mean, the garage is a small place. Words travel fast there. So everyone speaks super highly of ThorSport and how they are to be a part of. And so I think that this is a quality place that, even though they're in Ohio, it's a couple hour drive, not too far. I'm willing to definitely make the effort of coming here and being a part of it.
And you spoke about how everybody speaks highly of ThorSport, and knowing their success, including your crew chief Riches, how much is that putting any extra pressure on you now moving forward this season to level up to that level of success?
I think I look at it a little bit differently. I think that the world kind of looks at it as more negative kind of aspect, or tries to view it and make it a negative way as, oh, it's more pressure. Now the pressure is really on. Like, how are you going to deal with that? But I think when I saw the opportunity to be able to drive for ThorSport and to be able to come over here and be a part of it, and I was actually really hoping that Rich was going to be able to be my crew chief. But I was like, man, they've had such a great relationship in the past, him and Ben. Like, I doubt I'll be able to get him as a crew chief and come in. When the opportunity arose to, first of all, come to ThorSport, my eyes lit up. And then second of all, be able to have Rich as my crew chief, I think it just became almost like a dream came true. Like, I was so happy, so excited, and just so positive when it came to the outlook about it. And if everything's right and all those pieces to the puzzle are right, and there's everything kind of makes up the perfect ideal situation for me, like, that's what I want. I don't want to be kind of looking at it like, man, I wish I had this. I wish I was able to get this. If I have everything that I feel that I need, that just motivates me to work harder and to really do everything that I possibly can and go out there and try to maximize everything on the track.
And Mark, how critical was it for Ford to ensure that Hailie remained in your development program moving forward, and that with how things started to fall at the beginning of the off season?
Yeah, we're a family company. We like to be committed to the people that are part of our program and give them every opportunity to excel and be successful. So we wanted to give Hailie that opportunity with the right team, the right people around her to take that next step, to continue advancing. And as I said earlier, she's shown the potential that we've seen in her all along, and growth, and this is that opportunity to go one more level.
All right, thank you, everybody.
All right, we've got a couple follow-ups here, and then we'll call it a day. Let's go back to Jim. Hey, Jim.
Hey, I have a question from Mark about the Cup Series, if you wouldn't mind tackling it. About a year ago this time, teams were sort of, I guess, thrashing away. It's a good way to put it, preparing the next-gen car, a lot of testing and changes before 2022. I know there's been some, safety changes, and they're still working on some a package with the road courses. But I just wondered if you could kind of talk about your Ford Performance's team's preparation for 2023 and how that is maybe different, or is it still just as busy in this off season?
A lot of times the off season is more busy than the racing season itself, and I don't know that it's any different this time. There's the normal continual work on advancing your setup, your development, but with the updates to the cars, that's also a lot of work that the industry's working together with a supply chain and with the race shops to get all of that done in time to support the season. So a lot of work for sure, but that's what racing is. It's part of the off season.
And do you think that teams will be able to focus a little bit more this season on just trying to make cars go faster rather than sort of also spend a lot of time in pseudo development along the way?
Yeah, it's always a challenge whenever you have a new race car. So 2022 was a huge challenge for the industry, for every single race team, to come to grips with the car itself and how to race it, how to set it up, learning the different sensitivities. And that's still going to continue in 2023, because just because we have one season of racing under our belts, certainly learned a lot about the car, but there's still a lot more to learn or refine and continue finding the right setup for all the different tracks and just keep building that notebook. So our teams are working hard. They worked hard all through 2022, had a lot of success, and they're working hard through this off season. I'm down here in North Carolina this week, and we visited with all the teams, and they're all working hard, both on the cars and on the analytics for it and what they can do better in 2023.
Thank you very much, and have good holidays.
Thank you.
And let's go back to Bob. Hey, Bob.
Hey, Mark, I had a couple for you. First, were you surprised you had to add a team to find a place for Hailie? And how much kind of stress has it been over the last 6 or 8 weeks to try to find a place for her?
Yeah, I don't think we expected the DGR move. We didn't. But we were able to react to that, I think, very quickly and find the right solution. I don't think it's been overly stressful. The moment that we sat down with Duke and ThorSport, it was very natural, having had a relationship before, and went very smoothly, actually, because we have a lot in common in terms of who we are as people, as organizations, and what we want out of racing. So it's been actually a very good process. And in that very first discussion, Hailie was part of it, right? It was a question from ThorSport is, can Hailie come to ThorSport? They wanted her. They wanted to be part of her continued development. So yeah, it wasn't overly stressful.
And there have been some reports about Ford being interested in F1. I'm curious, how much interest do you have? And if so, do you work out of one big pool of money? And if so, if you did anything in the F1 space, would that impact any of your NASCAR budgets?
So obviously we're here to talk about NASCAR and keep our focus on NASCAR, and certainly been a lot of speculation out there, but nothing that we're going to comment on.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Bob. Let's finish up here with Zach. Go ahead, Zach.
Allison, I just had one for you as well. I'm curious, with the crew chief changes, bringing Rich onto the 13 team, what was, what were the thought processes there and pivoting him over to Hailie, and the other changes that come along with the 2023 season?
Yeah, so today we're just kind of doing an icebreaker with Ford and everything coming back, and we're super excited with welcoming Hailie. And with that, we thought Rich was the best fit for Hailie. He's had a lot of experience and a lot of success. He's led Myatt Snyder to Rookie of the Year, and as well as has won a championship in 2019 with Ben. So, and like, Hailie in her video today was joking around with Ben yesterday, about swapping or moving some crew chiefs around, but we have, again, everybody is super supportive, including the drivers like Ben. And then I even noticed kind of even some banter and helpful tips from like Matt Crafton yesterday in the shop. So I think that will continue. But with that, Rich was just kind of the right fit, we believe. And like Hailie noted earlier, she looks at it as a confidence boost, a sturdy chair to kind of say, hey, he's reached a success, so here you are, and we're going to help you do that. And Rich we felt like was the right person to fit that job.
Thank you.